He was a vicious demon king, hell-bent on annihilating humanity. However, a human infant changes his heart, and he resolves to adopt him and live as an ordinary loser in the human world. The story begins in a secluded village on the continent, where little Alicia lives with her father. She's excited and curious about everything. When she realizes that the world map has blotted out everything save Ethia, she asks her father, who decides to share the mythology of their world with her. Ethia is home to 5 humanoid races: normal humans, ogres, sea people called Slatin, barbarians named Benny, and elves with dog-like noses known as Haydn. The Haydn people are renowned for their forging and smithing skills, and only their royal family is privy to the process of crafting weapons from the rare mineral arcanite. The 5 species coexist peacefully, but their world is limited to the continent of Ethia due to the presence of magical monsters and their rulers that prevent humanity from exploring beyond. He claims that the 4 powerful demon lords protecting each direction have destroyed all expeditions sent to their lands. Alicia is disappointed to learn that they will have to live on Ada forever. Her father explains that a legend states that a hero will utilize a hidden weapon granted by the King of Haydn to defeat the 4 demon lords and save humanity. He explains that the demon lords are powerful enough to destroy mountains. Humans can only battle against them using the King of Haydn's special weaponry. Alicia is inspired to become a hero and use her magical weapons to destroy the demon ruler and expand the planet. Years later, Alicia became one of the 13 heroes chosen by the monarch of Haydn. She rides in a carriage with 6 other heroes, believing it is time to fulfill her vow to her father. The carriage passengers discuss the unique experience of seeing so many influential individuals at one location. One participant mentions the rarity of seeing a female hero. When he asks Alicia where she is from, she doesn't respond. Stefan, another hero, appears and warns everyone to prepare for the impending invasion of enemy territory. The other guys are annoyed by Stefan's leadership, but they can't disagree because he is the strongest member of the group. Stefan gently winks at Alicia to avoid awkward small talk, but she shows no interest in him. The carriage abruptly stops, and the driver informs the heroes that the road ahead is not fit for driving. Stefan anticipates the need to travel on foot from now on. Suddenly, a magical beast appears and removes the driver, prompting everyone to take action. More magical animals appear and take away the second driver before munching on the horses. Stefan instructs the heroes to position themselves for a successful battle against the demon lord at the summit. Heroes utilize their specific weapons and abilities to defeat magical creatures. The Lord of South, Clevitus, observes them from a distance. The heroes combat demons one by one before heading to Luna Mountain, home to Demon King Clev. The Demon King appears on top of the mountain and travels to their place by lightning bolt. The heroes are astonished to see the gorgeous monster with a weird golden glow. They recognize Clev's incredible strength. Stefan proclaims that the 13 heroes would defeat Aura Farm with weaponry from Haydn Kingdom. He tells everyone to charge ahead. Suddenly, he is smacked by something, leaving no time for anyone to respond. Stefan is broken after hitting a boulder behind him, and the demon lord's blood drips from his tail. When the heroes realize what has happened, one of them rushes in to exact retribution. Alicia warns him that something is wrong, but no one listens to her. The hammer guy attacks Clev but is struck by his tail, causing him to lose his head instantly. Clev's ability to control shadows allows him to stab the heroes from behind, causing panic among the others to retreat. Alicia is the only one who notices the shadows and warns everyone to keep jumping to avoid them. Alicia defies Clev's strikes and runs towards him, despite the fact that no one else can keep up. Clev is pleased with her mental clarity. In contrast to her, the boys seem forlorn. Despite their best efforts, they are defeated by the Demon Lord's tails, leaving Clev wondering why they are here. Throughout his lengthy life, he has only seen humans as insects. The last time he saw them was 1,000 years ago. He questions the presence of such weak beings and slaughters them, leaving just Alicia. She dodges the Demon Lord's strikes and flies at him, hitting him with full strength, but just scratching his horn. Clev is annoyed and sends a violent blast of wind, destroying Alicia's dreams. The demon lord is dissatisfied and tries to investigate why humans are targeting his country. He visits Hyderat, the capital city of the Haydn Kingdom, where blacksmiths sweat hard to create weapons. When KV lands on a watchtower, people panic and flee for safety. Clev learns from the heroes that the king of Haydn provided them with extraordinary weapons, prompting him to approach the fellow monarch. Meanwhile, troops guarding the city arrive to confront him, but he ignores them completely. He believes that killing everyone in his path will lead him to the monarch, as heroes did in his realm. The troops begin shooting at him, but they aren't worth his time. KV ignores them and runs over rooftops towards the royal palace. The royal guards prepare to fight him by bringing forth large weapons. However, their attacks are too slow and weak to be effective against him. He simply rips down the castle walls, and a messenger hurries to alert the king of the situation. The king suspected that the heroes had failed and the demon lord had arrived, based on the tremors and loud sounds. He admits that the weapons he sent to the heroes may not have been sufficient, and that he did not fulfill the mythology in his time. The king refuses to flee to safety, knowing that escaping the demon lord is impossible. He uses his remaining time to shut the forge within the palace. If it is destroyed, they will be unable to battle against the magical animals. The royal guards utilize special weapons made from the same red metal arcanite as the heroes. Clev recognizes that this is the only serious threat to him. After Alicia's attack scratched his horn, he realized that even insects may be harmful with the right weaponry. He destroys both the weapons and the forge to prevent humanity from becoming stronger. Returning to the palace, the king opens the door to the forge. As he prepares to enter, the rumbling intensifies. The king locks the door, opting to remain outside the forge instead. Clev tears open the roof and informs the king that he was seeking for him. The king expresses surprise at Clev's use of human language, claiming that a beast should not use it. Clev warns the monarch that if he does not like his words, he will kill humanity as a whole. The king is asked to explain the nature of Ethia's humanoids and why they continue to enter his land despite previous attempts to prevent them. The king goes out as a farmer and informs the demon lord that a beast like him will not understand his reasoning. Clev swipes away his head with his tail, deciding to eliminate all 5 humanoid races. While walking back with plans to assemble an army, he hears the sound of a screaming baby. He chooses to ignore the infant. However, the mother who was crushed under the rubble while protecting the infant begged him to stop. She asks him to save the child. Clev is taken aback by the request to help someone. The man informs the woman that he intends to wipe off humanity and blames her death on her human birth. The wife reminds him that children cannot choose when or where they are born, and he should not allow the child die because adults attempted to hurt them. Clev turns around and begs for proof that the infant is worthy of saving. She declines, citing her impending death as the reason. But when the youngster grows up, he will prove his worth on his own. After she dies, Clev chooses to take the boy with him. The man is skeptical about the woman's claims, but believes that human life is too short to miss out on the opportunity to watch one firsthand. At Luna Mountain, the magical animals attempt to devour the youngster, but Clev chases them away. The baby's continual weeping irritates him. He spends some of his power to restore the baby's strength, but it is insufficient. He has no understanding of humanity and abandons the infant in a pile of excrement, devouring bugs when he soils himself. The baby's sobbing intensifies, and Cieli regrets bringing him here. However, being the king of magical beasts, he cannot reverse his actions simply due to inconvenience. He intends to protect the child before deciding whether to save the humanoids. A mother is crucial for a baby's successful development. Soon, Alicia awakens from a nightmare in which her father is killed by a terrifying knight. She's not sure where she is right now. When she hears Clev's voice, she turns around to draw her sword, but he tells her that he tossed the blade and her comrades to the bottom of the valley. He says that she was the only one who could help them, so he revived her body with his evil mana. Alicia is confused by his statement. She discovers she has died, and is now a zombie running on the Demon King's magic after her torn leg reattaches to her body. She is completely perplexed by that. But then CLA instructs her to get to work and show him her mother's milkers. Alicia is shocked to learn that the demon ruler is a Gunu, but he tells her not to stall because the baby is hungry. When she refuses to follow, Clev uses his ability to forcefully control her body. After stripping Alicia, he discovers that she is unable to produce milk due to her virginity. Alicia accuses Clev of ignorance, but he dismisses her as a useless person. She requests that he kill her instead of humiliating her. Clev clamps her to the ground, claiming that as long as his strength flows through her, she cannot be killed. Clev admits that he is powerless to stop the baby's wailing due to hunger. Alicia questions why he has a tiny infant with him, and he responds that he wants the child to grow up and assess humanity based on him. He assures Alicia that she will provide him with all the necessary information for parenting children. The first question he asks her is how to feed the baby. Alicia refuses to defy his command and suggests finding a wet nurse to feed the baby. Most people hire one with money. Clev does not understand the concept of money. Alicia offers to recruit anyone in return for the rare aeronite found on the mountain. Alicia cautions Clev against hiring a wet nurse right away, questioning his intelligence. She advises him not to hire a nurse since people will react negatively to his presence. She suggests he give the kid to her as she can find a wet nurse for him. But in actuality, she intends to protect the baby from the Demon King. Clev refuses to let the child leave his sight. And to address the issue of his look, he summons his tremendous mana and transforms into a human-like figure. Alicia is shocked to see this, but Clev explains that he disguised himself as a human to protect the child by controlling shadows. She tells him to do something about his tails as well, and Clev sends them inside his shadow, but he doesn't cover the horn. He then decides to call the child Luna after the mountain that is his home, and tells Alicia to escort him to a wet nurse. During their journey, they stop at Alicia and the other hero's campsite due to the nearby river. He tells Alicia to wash Luna carefully and nags about the details. She is both angered and startled to learn that a demon king may suffer from OCD. After cleaning the baby, CLA instructs Alicia to wash herself to avoid contaminating the baby with blood and filth. He also hands her the cloth Luna was wrapped in. After removing the stains, Alicia discovers the Haydn royal family crest. She is shocked to learn Luna is from the Haydn royal family, but has no idea how Clev got him. She confronts Clev for kidnapping a member of the royal family, but he explains that Luna was entrusted to him. Alicia doesn't believe him, but Clev explains how an injured woman told him to take the baby after he burned the royal palace and killed everyone. Alicia fears that only the royal family of Haydn has the knowledge to transform aeronite into weapons, prompting everyone to search for the child. After learning of the child's true history, KV intends to employ him as a puppet king of Haydn, controlling the country from the shadows. Alicia realizes she has made a mistake. However, she believes Clev is enamored with Luna for some reason. She fears that if Luna is harmed, Clev may crash out and kill humanity. She is determined to prevent this from happening as her final duty as a hero. Upon entering human land, the two are ambushed by bandits. Alicia tries telling Clev about it, but it is too late and he gets bonked hard by the bandit. Alicia realizes the bandits are going to perish right now. Clev collapses and begins to bleed profusely. Alicia can't believe her eyes and begins to scream. Another bandit smacked her in the back of the head, knocking her out. Alicia awakens to the rumbling of a bandit carriage and discovers she and Clev have been seized. She questions how he can remain so calm in this scenario. In part 2, Clev reassures her that Luna is secure, despite his recent tears. Alicia approaches Clev, questioning how he was knocked out by a single hit from the bandit. Clev clarifies that acquiring this form does not make him as weak as a human. He was astonished by the fragility of the human body, so he fell and decided to play along. Alicia asks him why they aren't fleeing immediately. Clev offers to make Luna ruler of Haydn in exchange for concealing his true identity. He also seeks to understand this aspect of human nature. He begs Alicia to explain why the injured individuals are being transported like luggage. She informs him that they were all ambushed by filthy bandits and are likely to be sold as slaves. Clev inquires about the strength of the bandits, to which she responds that they are quite strong in comparison to humans, but their willingness to use dirty techniques makes them a frustrating opponent. She advises Clev not to base his perception of humanity on bandits, but he becomes increasingly inquisitive. When they arrive at a deep mine, the bandits instruct their prisoners to exit. The men and women are separated, and when one man attempts to flee, a robber throws a knife into his back, sending him to the afterlife. The bald bandit identifies themselves as the Ravens and threatens to kill anyone who flees or disobeys them. He advises everyone to move on, but invites Alicia to join him since he has plans for her. Clev merely watches her being taken away when a blonde, bratty woman calls him towards her cabin. She is upset because he has brought a child and refers to another slave, Nell, as even more ugly than your sister. Carmel, the blonde girl, scolds the worthless girl for tripping over thin air and dropping her bed covers. She informs Nell that one of their new slaves has a child, and it is her responsibility to look after them. When Nell sees Luna, her eyes light up. The bald bandit leads Alicia to the office of Rock, the bandit's temporary boss. The bandits refuse to acknowledge him as their ruler, and he threatens to unleash his pet dark beast on them if they do not follow. The men are afraid of the troll, who appears to obey Brock and interacts effectively with him. Brock comments on Aeronite and Alicia's luggage, claiming it came from the Luna Mountain, the stronghold of the Dark Lord Clevitus. He is aware of the 13 heroes who left Haydn to fight Clevitus, including one woman. Alicia tries to evade Brock's attention, but he recognizes her as the female hero due to her calm demeanor and lack of inappropriate behavior in front of his pet troll. Vrock informs her that after the heroes failed their task, Clevitus destroyed the royal capital of Haydn and its fortress. He exclaims that it's the finest news for his bandit squad before revealing his red-edged knife. Alicia is surprised to see this, as only Haydn royals can produce Aeronite weapons with red edges. Vrock shares his knowledge of legendary weapons that enhance their wielders' powers. However, the one he has is not real. Alicia is astonished to learn that he not only sells slaves, but also bogus magical weapons. He claims that most people are unaware of the difference. Vrock explains the concept of supply and demand to Alicia, stating that if the Haydn royal family dies, magical weapons will no longer be produced, increasing the value of existing weapons significantly. The most precious weapons would be those that the heroes carry. However, because the heroes died in undiscovered area, they cannot be found. With a live hero, Brock is confident in finding and selling the weapons at a premium price. He wants Alicia to tell him where they are, but she refuses to speak. He chooses to keep her silent for now, and takes her to Luna Mountain to retrieve the weapons tomorrow. The other bandits claim that they can exploit her to pursue their other goal. Vi refuses to sacrifice her life, stating that the other slaves are enough to do so. He encourages the bandits to have fun with Alicia, leading them to consider calling him boss. Clev works in the restaurant operated by Carmel, a blonde. Her only customers are the bandits, for whom she provides multiple services. And Nell's responsibility is to breastfeed Luna because the radius of her milkers is greater than her ick. The robbers continue to boss her around and kick her for being slow. Nell, despite her timidity, accepts everything without complaint. Carmel considers it a disgrace to sell Clev, who works as a server and serves customers. However, she finds him creepy due to his intense personality. A guy trips Nell while she is carrying rum bottles, causing them to tumble and crack. He accuses her of being clumsy and smashing the bottles, then drags her outside with his companion, claiming she has to be punished again. Clev observes with interest as bandits mock the strange individuals who took Nell outside. The filthy perverts slap Nell till she cries, then warn her not to spill wine again. Nell wipes her tears because she needs to care for the baby. The two weirdos criticize her for being foolish when they experience sudden dizziness. Suddenly, they cough up blood, die on the ground, and disappear into Clev's shadow. Clev approaches Nell and initiates a conversation with her. Clev asks Nell about her relationship with the bandits while she breastfeeds Luna. She explains that she was born into the bandit crew and had no knowledge of her father. She had a mother, whom the bandits frequently hurt and tormented. Nell's birth condition rendered her unable to comprehend what was going on. But when she was 12, her mother vanished. Nell wasn't sure if her mother had died or fled. But then one day, a bandit approached her and started her without explanation. She knew her mother was protecting her. They started treating her like animals. After Carmen launched her restaurant and brothel, things improved slightly. She taught Nell how to satisfy men quickly and get them to leave her alone. And, despite its little size, it was beneficial to her. Nell reports increased milk production for her babies. Clev also recalls that only women who have given birth are capable of producing milk. When he inquires about her baby, Nell expresses sadness, stating that it died at birth. She blames herself and wants to meet her baby on the other side. When she awoke, she discovered an unidentified infant sipping her milk for survival. That sight touched her heart, so she decided to live a bit longer. She informs Clev that she had 2 more stillborn children after that, but she stayed to care for other children who needed her. She expresses her desire for the happiness of these children, as she has never seen her own, but Clev dismisses her words. He appreciates her for sharing her tale and invites her to join him. Clev instructs Nell to become Luna's wet nurse, despite her confusion about his meaning. He believes he can trust Luna, despite his distrust of humans. He asks her if she wants to join him or stay and become a slave to the bandits. Nell expresses gratitude for the offer, but explains that he cannot assist her because he is a slave and will have to care for further infants in the future. On the other side, Alicia is being taken to a chamber by the 2 bandits who instruct her to move fast. They urge her not to even consider of jumping over the bridge because she will strike the walls and perish before reaching the ocean. When she notices a man preparing to plunge into the lake with a rope, the bandits taunt him for his lack of intelligence. Alicia is inquisitive about the situation, and the bandits are open to discussion. They explain that she must have heard about the hero Cordwer, and everything makes sense. She has heard that hero Cordo visited an Aeronite mine before his death, and lost his weapon. The man at the bottom takes a hook and leaps into the lake, urging the bandits to uphold their promise and liberate him and his wife if he finds the weapon. Alicia orders him to cease searching for the weapon and warns of the presence of dark animals in the water. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on part 2.